Welcome to Hope is Here. Continuing just a powerful week with two servant leaders here in our community. Gerald G.O. Gibson, he is the founder and community program coordinator of Operation Making a Change. It's OMAC. Yes, and talking with the captain, Greg Howard, for 41 years working in the criminal justice system. He's supposedly retired, but doing a lot of just good work in our community. But we've been sharing about just how God put them together. Had some fun yesterday talking about it. It's like putting Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy together from the 48 Hours movie from many years ago. But these guys are just making a difference. But if you missed the first three programs, I want to challenge you. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm going to challenge you. Go check them out. Only 14 minutes long. HopeIsHere.today. That's HopeIsHere.today. Also, you can find out about how to get in contact with either Gio or Greg Howard. We'll have their contact information on those podcasts on those three programs that we've done. But guys, you have provided hope to so many people through your partnership. And I just wanted you to share some of those stories that with individuals and anything else that you would like to share just to give hope with people that, you know, there are people that are getting well and moving forward with their lives.
Yeah. Well, one thing I know for sure, you know, the world that we live in operates off evidence-based materials and stuff like that. Nothing against that. But it's nothing like walking into a Walmart, a school, a neighborhood park, or you can be anywhere in this world, and someone will always remember what you poured into them. And so you got these kids coming up to you and like, hey, man, you know, you came to my school and spoke. You came to the detention center and spoke to me, or you saw me. I was in your program. I'm now, you know, I'm graduating. I'm on my way to college. It was something that you said that, you know, that sparked my intentions to do better. There's no feeling like it, man. And most important, God is keeping track on all that type of stuff for us anyway. But like I said, man, you know, I've seen so many, but we also lost a lot of people too. And I think that comes with the work that we're doing. Sad to say, you never get used to that. You know, it's sad to get those phone calls about someone had a drug overdose or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But like I said, for the most part, man, there's a lot of people, men, women, and children that I run across all the time. I mean, this is daily that I can get somebody coming up to me or giving me a phone call, sending me a message, just thanking me for my services, you know. And of course, I tell them to thank God because it was all God's doing. I can't take God's credit. So because he's the one that put me where I'm at today.
Well, it's powerful to see. Greg, you were sharing when we were off the air talking about a young lady that had been impacted through OMAC and has a graduation coming up.
Yeah, she's really cool. I'll use her first name's Jackie, and Gio and I first met her in his program, OMAC, at the jail. And then shortly after that, then that's when Keenan and I started Alpha. We started working with Alpha with a bunch of other people through the local jail. And Jackie was in the women's portion of that, and we've stayed in touch with her for a long time. And today, she graduated from drug court, a 2-year program for her, which is very demanding. I mean, it's not something easy. And the drug court system works really good. The people are great. But they hold their feet to the fire in this, and so they have to do a lot of work. And so we met her earlier today, and Keenan had bought her a little gift, and we met her husband and just some small talk there before the graduation. But she is one of those people that certainly applies for Hope is There, because at many times she has felt like in her life that she had no hope. She didn't have her children. She had an addiction. But because of people like Gio and other people investing in her, she has true hope now. And she's a product of Alpha and OMAC for sure. Yeah, she's a wonderful person, man. It was just a beaming on her face. The smile on her face was just, man, you can't get enough of it. It's what God created us to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if you were talking about what's this Alpha, we did a program with Greg on Alpha back a few weeks ago. Go to our website, HopeIsHere.today. It's just a really great program. It's Alpha, and they actually can do it in prisons now. And so how long have you guys been doing that?
Well, we've been on it. We've been a couple of years now, and we were branching out to North Point this time, which is a prison in Danville, and we're in Blackburn, and we're certainly a local jail and the kid jail, and the women program as well, a local jail. So it's doing really well. Gio helps us with that. I mean, he's very good about, like when he does his program, he'll really kind of put a plug in for Alpha, because Alpha's at nighttime and he works his during the day. And I think it's impressive what the police department's allowing Gio to do is really impressive. Mark Barnard hired him, but Lawrence Weathers, who's our current chief, can really see and is using Gio in a way that's a little different, that maximizes what the police department's trying to do. The police department is a reactive organization in some ways, but all other ways should be preventive, and I think Chief Weathers is doing a good job with Gio on that.
Yeah, and what makes all this work and what's very important to the work that we're doing is the partnerships. I mean, I can name so many people. The county attorney's office, the police department, Lexington Fayette Urban County government, the reentry program at Fayette County Detention Center are doing a wonderful job. I mean, you got Department of Juvenile Justice, DYS, so many people, man, that play a part in what we're doing. So I definitely have to give credit to a lot of people that help all of this form together in order for it to work. So, even back home, the Waukegan area, the Chicago area, Racine, Kenosha, Milwaukee, definitely I've had so many wonderful connections in all these cities and states, man. I didn't get here alone. So, and then to come here and to be connected with this great man to my right, he's very modest and humble, of course, but if he only knew the impact that he has on me, man. I told him we need to write a book together.
Yeah, I can see that. And a movie.
My part be short, right? Really?
Yeah,
I think Eddie Murphy. I think Nick Nolte drank a lot of beer, so I'm not sure I want to be in that.
We'll minus the alcohol.
Yeah, we might want to skip that part.
Absolutely. Yeah, you would be an upgrade for Nick.
The interesting part about what Gio and I do is that it's oftentimes the people that you would look around at and you'd say, that person really gets it. Because we have a lot of people in our programs that we're betting money on when they get out, they'll do well. And then when they get out, they go back to their addiction, they'll go back to their old ways. But oftentimes it's the people that we don't really expect that'll come up to you later and say, remember me, Mr. Howard? Remember me, Mr. Gibson? I were in your OMAC program, I was in Alpha, and oh, yeah, I remember you. Tell me a little bit about it. Well, I've got my children back, my relationships back with my family.
Amen.
I'm working, kind of doing it the way we're supposed to do it, the way God created us to kind of work, not be handing stuff for free all the time. And it's for me, and I know Gio feels the same way, it's the people that sometimes will just sit and not say much, but they're soaking it in and watching.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching my 14-year-old daughter grow up. She's now full-time ministry, so I mean, look at what God is doing, because I made a decision to be here today. Right. I chose life over death. So I'm just so proud of her. Back in Waukegan, Illinois, she's actually with a pastor that I grew up with in the second grade.
Really?
Him and I did it. We grew up together, man, and now my daughter's a leader in this church.
Well, and you shared something before we went on there, that one time the enemy almost took you out because you had lost hope.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, when you're out there in those streets, man, I mean, it was so stressful for me, man. And I said to myself, well, maybe I'm better off not here. Maybe I won't hurt anybody anymore or whatever. And so one day I took it upon myself. I took a bunch of pills and I laid there, and I'm laying on this couch. I was living in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the time. And my niece, Aisha is her name, she walked past me. She was probably 3 years old, and she stared me dead in my face. Normally she cries when she sees me because, I don't know, you know how kids are. Baby takes to certain people. And I took these pills, and I realized I made one of the biggest mistakes in life. I went to the hospital. They pumped my stomach, and I'm laying there. The nastiest stuff I ever tasted, man, would have to drink this stuff in my stomach. Oh, my goodness. So the doctor comes back in. He's like, well, what were you attempting to do? I said, I really don't know. But the pills that I took were actually vitamin supplements. So
wow.
I just thank God, man, that, everything happened the way, I don't think I would change anything. What happened, man, I would just tell people, man, trust the process. God has a plan for you. I mean, if he definitely saved a guy like me, I know he'll save somebody else. This has definitely been a wonderful journey so far, man. And I don't really think this is it right here. I think there's so much more that God is going to do before I, leave this earth. So,
amen.
Yeah. So if you're listening out there, don't go by what it looks like. You got to continue to have that faith, and don't be afraid to trust the process. Building trust with people is hard, but had I not built trust and start opening up myself to people, how will people get to know me and know how to help me? I refused help. I pushed people away. And so I just want to encourage people out there, man, to trust somebody. God has sent you somebody. Don't be afraid of that.
Yeah, it's one of the problems that a lot of people have is trust. Of course, people in and out of jail both, have trust issues. And I think one of the values of Gio is that people trust him. They kind of know he's kind of been there, done that. He is partnershiping with a lot of interesting people. And I think that people look at that and say, well, if he can do that, a lot more than me, if he can do that, then I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's where your hope comes in, I think. I may reach a small percentage of people, but Gio can particularly give people hope by listening to these programs that you got going. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
And, he's also, he's created all this partnership with me, but as a result of what he did for me, my church, Centenary, is now partnering with Southland and partnering with other churches to bring this program into prisons now, which when we've all talked about it a lot in the church setting, we need to go into the prisons. It's a mission field, right? But without really our connection, I don't know that Centenary would be doing it. We had some kind of small prison ministry, and so did Southland, but now it's blossoming, man. Southland's taking over the whole North Point thing. So a lot of that's just that ripple down effect you were talking about. It's really touching a lot of different people, so I'm really proud of him. I really am.
Yeah. Like I said, man, never in a million years I thought I would be where I'm at today, man. Like I said, the organizations that I partner with, the people of so many different races and different backgrounds and stuff like that. Like I said, my ultimate goal is just continue to spread hope to other people. That's it, man. Yeah. I work for PAL, also Police Activities League, up under the police department. And we just work with so many wonderful kids, man, and people, man. It's just so much fun, and I just encourage people to get involved.
We took a bunch of kids one time rock climbing, which I hated actually, but we also during that period of time we were spending the night down at the Bluegrass Christian Camp. Michael Fan runs that Bluegrass Christian Camp. He's a great guy. But Gio and I, we had him down there with a UK basketball night, I think, and so we were spending the night, and a big storm comes up.
Oh yeah.
And when you're down there, these kids think they're only 9 miles from New Circle Road, but they feel like they're 500 miles, and you can't see anything, and the wind's howling. And we're trying to watch a basketball game, and these kids are all cuddled up in one corner, and we both were giggling over in the other corner, saying, this is an experience that they would never have gotten if Gio hadn't handled all that, if he hadn't been in their schools doing stuff, if we hadn't agreed to help, if Larry Roberts hadn't have paid for it. So, again, that ripple thing, man, and you're talking about success stories, and there's a lot of success stories come out of these kids that we don't have the time to talk about, but there are a lot of kids who graduate in college, they're getting jobs at police departments, that are interning with him. Again, things that never would have happened had it not been for the relationships.
Yes, that simple change in that prison cell in 1999, man, is just, it created a pathway, man, to actually help others come out of darkness. Amen. That's, like I said, that's I reflect on that so many times. That I'm not saying I'm the one responsible for other people's change or wherever they are in their lives, but just imagine had I not made the conscious choice to be here today or to change my life.
Well, he listened. It's all about listening. Part of being a Christian is not just talking all the time,
right?
But listening to people. And if you want a true relationship with Christ, you got to listen.
Yeah.
It's not prayer. It's not all the time. It's every occasionally God's saying, "Hold on, man, take a break."
Faith without works is dead.
Amen.
It's dead.
We're going to end on that. Faith without works is dead. These two guys are putting their faith in action. Greg Howard, Gerald Gio Gibson. It's been a blessing having these guys this week. Make sure you go to our website and find out their contact information if you want to see how you can be a blessing and come alongside them. But we hope that you'll join us next time on Hope.
And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Yeah.
Amen. That's a wrap.